We've been 12 years public. We've worked so hard begging the public to accept our marriage, our family.
As his 3 original marriages have unraveled, Kody Brown has become absolutely unhinged now that we are well into season 19. I'm often left at a loss for words after watching each subsequent episode. I don't really know what Kody's PR strategy is anymore. I suppose so far in season 19, he's really falling on the sword in an attempt to rehab Robin's image, which honestly almost worked for me in episode 4, but then Gabe shows up in episode 5 and just reminds us what a snake Robin has always been. But there's really nothing off limits for Kody as who or what he will blame for his perceived shitty life circumstances. He will rail against his ex-wives, especially Christine. He will rail against his ex-kids, and now he's even railing against his ex-religion, which I've been saying for a while, this dude is on the verge of getting smited for real. By episode 5 of season 19, Kody has made it clear to viewers that he no longer recognizes the authority of the Apostolic United Brethren, or the AUB, which is the Brown family's former church. And the reason why is absolutely insane. This church dared to try to hold Kody accountable for some of his bad behavior, and Kody is not hearing any of that noise. Kody is walking a very fine line of feeling like even God can't judge him. And I've been saying I wouldn't want to be Kody when I meet my maker, but acting like your britches are too big for the Lord, dude, you are about to get struck by lightning. We need to talk about the absolutely insane rationale behind Kody losing his religion and his continued obsession with getting dumped big time by Christine. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Before we jump into today's topic, let's hear from today's video sponsor. Do you see how I subscribe to Scentbird for all of my fragrance needs? I get to try out lots of fragrances without committing to hundreds of dollars for full-size bottles. It's very mindful, very demure, and these travel-size vials are so very cutesy. I am so excited to be partnering again with Scentbird. I love Scentbird. It is how I have discovered so many delicious smelling fragrances. A fragrance that you love can make you feel more confident and put together. I love discovering new fragrances, but it can be an expensive habit. That's why I am so grateful for Scentbird. Scentbird is a subscription fragrance service that is going to rock your world. You get to try the first fragrance from Scentbird for only $8, and your next month will only be $16.95. I really love the way Scentbird packages their fragrances. They lock and travel really well, so you don't have to worry about leaking. I've never been a fan of rollerballs, so I really love these travel vials. This month, I am absolutely obsessed with, and I'm not even going to try to attempt the French pronunciation, but thankfully, there is English translation. It's This Is Not a Blue Bottle by History's Des Parfums. This scent is fresh and a little mysterious, and it just makes me so happy. Scentbird encourages experimentation with fragrances, offering personalized selections based on your preferences. Their quiz helps you discover niche fragrances that align with your taste. You will 100% find something for yourself because with over 700 fragrances available, you'll always find something new to try. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, use my code REALITY or the link below to get 55% off at Scentbird. You can get your first product for half the price. That's just $8. What a steal. Thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video. I listen to a lot of podcasts that recap Sister Wives, and I follow a lot of commentary YouTubers that follow the show. And a general sentiment amongst all of us is just wondering what the heck happened to Kody Brown. I think we all can agree that even if Kody wasn't 100% truthful back in season 1, he definitely loved his family. He believed in polygamy, and he wanted to show the world that he wasn't like that criminal Warren Jeffs. He wanted to prove to all of us that love not only could be, but should be multiplied, not divided. Back in season 1, Kody told us he is part of a religion that recommends polygamy and likes to reward the most fervent men with more wives. Kody says that if his faith thought you were good with one wife, they'd see how you be with two, and so on and so forth. So there Kody is in season 1, hoping that his faith would deem him worthy enough to be married to 4 women. Clearly, Kody put a lot of stock in what his church thought back in the day. But cut to season 19, Mary decides to seek a spiritual divorce, or what their church calls a release, and Kody straight up ghosts her.
I really felt like that he was just doing everything that he could to have me be the one to leave so that he could say, my hands are clean. She's the one who left. After that, I decided I was going to move forward with the official termination through the church where we had gotten married. I texted Kody and I said, hey, I went ahead and started the process, and he never responded to my text.
So Kody has gone from hoping his church leaders will find him worthy enough to marry Robyn to not giving a flying fuck what they think. All in the span of like 14 years. And if you're Robyn and Kody just wept to you last season that he promised in your sacred covenant that he'd never leave you in a loveless marriage, and now this is how he's treating those covenants? What does that tell you, Robyn? It would tell me I'm definitely not the exception to the rule. Kody gives us some insight into his thought process as to why he's just not giving any credence to these former church leaders.
And I got a phone call from the church leader who said, we've given Mary a release. And he said a few other things that I don't want to necessarily disclose that sort of upset me.
They did say that it was on the grounds of abandonment.
So Kody says he gets a call from the church leader and they said a bunch of stuff to him that he didn't like. And as is Kody's nature, if it's something that's probably going to make him look like an asshole, he just refuses to talk about it. But Mary lets us know that the release was granted based off of abandonment. And there are certain words that trigger Kody, and apparently abandon is one of them. But it's not Kody's fault he treated Mary like shit. No, it's actually Robyn's fault.
Robyn felt that if I waited on God, things could change for mine and Mary's relationship. And that was advice that I took. And I waited. And as time went on, I realized that it was never really going to work.
Again, I would be really interested to see Robyn react to sentiments like that. How do you feel, Robyn, watching your husband not only take zero accountability for how he has treated one of his other wives, but he actually blames you for letting it linger for so long that one might perceive it as abandonment? Well, we need not wonder what on earth this conversation entailed, because the daughter of the current prophet of the AUB actually does TikTok commentary, and she spoke to her dad apparently the day after this conversation took place, and she divulged over on her TikTok a lot more about what went down during this conversation.
So when my dad did call, it was funny because when Kody said that last night, I got a call from the church leaders. I'm like, oh, I know who that was. That was my dad. And I just happened to talk to my dad the next day and asked him what had happened. I'm like, and he's like, well, because he told me he was going to meet with Mary. He's like, yeah, Mary's coming up here. We're going to talk this next week. And she's seeking a release. And he's like, right now, I'm absolutely going to give it to her. There's no question about it. So he told me that before he ever even met with Mary. And then when he says, so Robyn and I were driving home and I got a phone call from the church leader who said we've given Mary a release. And he said a few other things that I don't want to necessarily disclose that sort of upset me. Yeah, he was pretty upset on that phone call. He was not happy. He was getting all angry at my dad. My dad is he doesn't really give a shit if you're upset or not. He will just tell you exactly how it is, and that's it. And then he walks away. Thanks, Kelly. He doesn't really care. He tries to be sensitive, but at the same time, if it's business that he's conducting, it's business that he's conducting. And I'm pretty sure that phone call probably was very business directed. So I can only imagine it wasn't as compassionate as maybe it could have been. My dad just doesn't have a lot of compassion when it comes to that kind of stuff. They did give her a release on abandonment, which does not surprise me at all. He has absolutely proven to all of us that it was, abandonment. Kody doesn't feel like he abandoned her, but he did. He absolutely did. When he called him, he wasn't even upset about Mary.
Yeah, thanks, man.
He was upset. He instantly changed the subject from Mary to Christine and was basically just threatened and said, you better not give Christine a release. I've done nothing to deserve this.
It seems like Kody has really met his match with this new AUB prophet. This prophet doesn't think that Kody is anything special just because he is famous. Now, this daughter that is speaking out does not have a relationship with her dad anymore and actually has said that her dad and Kody are far more similar than they are different. So I am not saying that this prophet is a good guy or anything, but I do love to see anyone in a position of authority give Kody a verbal comeuppance. But we find out a year or more after Christine leaves, he's more focused on bitching about Christine in this phone call rather than talk about Mary. Why is this dude so obsessed with getting dumped by Christine? Well, according to this lady, one of the possible reasons is that Kody likely always thought that he was better than Christine. And we know that Kody has admitted to being attracted to Christine's polygamy pedigree. Christine just declared herself divorced, a la Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy, because she says she no longer subscribes to the religion. For Christine, she doesn't care what a bunch of dudes have to say about her spiritual marriage. That doesn't mean anything to her anymore. And now Kody is saying the same thing when it comes to divorcing Mary. It doesn't matter to Kody what the church has to say about his marriage to Mary. But while he doesn't care what they have to say about his marriage to Mary, he does care what they have to say about his marriage to Christine. He doesn't want the church leaders to grant Christine a release, and that's curious to me. Maybe Robin is on his ass about not letting Christine just dip out without going through proper channels. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what we saw play out in season 17 when Christine told Kody and the wives that she was leaving and moving back to Utah. Robin got big mad and was like, not so fast, but the church and all of this must be proper.
We never made an official agreement. We never signed a paper. We never went to our church leaders and said, hey, we're divorced, or we want a divorce. You know, would they even allow us a divorce?
Usually, our church would say you're divorced. You have to go ask for a divorce.
Yeah.
Christine just saying I'm divorced is sort of invalidating our beliefs.
According to Robin, Christine just declaring divorce without church authority is invalidating her marriage to Kody. So wouldn't Kody literally ghosting Mary about her release also be invalidating of Robin's marriage? Of her sacred covenant with Kody? How seriously does Kody take these covenants if he clearly doesn't take his to Mary seriously? And honestly, this is why part of me feels like consensual and of-age polygamy should be legalized to financially protect these women. Make Kody go through 3 legal divorces. None of this picking and choosing what you will and won't recognize based off of your feelings about your church on any given day. Nah, if you have a marriage license with the government, you have to unravel that shit in the court system. Bureaucracy, baby, let's go. Kody says he feels like Christine leaving delegitimizes everything they've worked for the last decade and a half when they've been begging the public to recognize their family structure. Even as recent as season 17, Kody is still recognizing the authority of this church, even though they don't really belong to the AUB anymore. They've kind of turned into more independent Mormon fundamentalists. But even here in season 17, Kody does not want to besmirch the image of the AUB. But the second that the AUB leadership says that Kody has done wrong, all of a sudden, Kody has lost his religion. That is insane. The way the AUB is structured, the head is literally called a prophet, aka a mouthpiece for God. So Kody is saying, I don't like what this mouthpiece for God is saying, so I don't recognize your authority anymore. Yikes, you're walking a real fine line there, Kody. And Kody actually goes a step further and reveals something that I didn't think he'd ever admit on camera, and that is he kept Mary clinging to hope in part because she just knows too much.
I had moved on a long time ago, but let's just be honest here. I was afraid of what she would do if I ripped off that Band-Aid. It's because Mary was never loyal to me, ever. That's what I've been worried about, is just kind of reputation, because when you get divorced, your reputation is trashed.
Kody was afraid of what Mary would do to him in the court of public opinion. Very interesting. And I'm sure that Mary could spill a Boston Tea Party's worth of tea with what her marriage to Kody was really like. And I really hope she does. For Christine's part, she is not fucking around anymore. She is actually suing the guy now. And on a recent podcast, she called him a deadbeat dad. This is the kind of energy that we love to see. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and make sure you check out Notes to Self over on TikTok and YouTube. I'll be sure to leave links to her accounts down in the description of this video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my second channel, Sarah Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, X, and TikTok at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, use my code REALITY or the link below to get 55% off at Scentbird. You can get your first product for half the price. That's just $8. What a steal. Thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video.